Hello YouTube, this is a small video to talk to you about Lucy Pringle's research into whether or not brain waves are affected by going into a crop circle. Now, Lucy over the years has put a lot of time and money and effort into buying equipment such as laptop computers which connect to people's skulls. They put a little sort of strap around, and it's a similar sort of thing you've seen in the movies to this sort of stuff, where they connect electrodes to the head, and these are wired into a machine which is now a laptop that she uses, which is a bit smaller than one of these, which is what they use in a hospital. And what you end up is, with a little bit of luck, waveforms. And what she's trying to do is she's trying to show that going into a crop circle gives you different waveform patterns and different brainwave activity than if you're not in a crop circle. Now, sounds good, doesn't it? Because all this scientific research that these experts do always does sound pretty good on the surface, but here's the reason it falls down. Now, I would hasten a guess that Lucy does know this, because she can't be that stupid, but why she's actually ignoring what I'm about to say is probably proof of, like with many crop circle researchers, is that they just don't fucking care. Right, what it is, basically, if you are taking a scientific experiment with people involved, and you're trying to prove whether or not people are influenced by a thing or not influenced by a thing, you would have to take a thing called a control sample, and because it's involving people, you would have to use a thing called the double-blind effect, which stops the placebo effect being in force. Which is like, if I give you a tablet, and it's a white tablet, and I tell you that it's an aspirin and it'll stop your headache, then it probably will, even though it wasn't an aspirin. This is known as the placebo effect. Now, people like Lucy, who claim to be interested in science, should actually be aware of this principle, but they don't seem to be employing it when they're doing their research into the crop circles, because what they do is they put the thing on somebody's head, and then they tell them all about the crop circles and how people have strange effects in crop circles and how it's very weird, and how they've done lots of research, and this is why they're using the laptop equipment, and look, here's my little laptop, and my little laptop is connected to your brain, and my little laptop goes connected to your brain, so we can measure the difference that we will get in the crop circle, or if we get a difference, but there will be a difference, because we wouldn't be doing the experiment if there wasn't a difference. So we're going to take you into the crop circle, and we're going to measure the difference. Yeah? Now, you've already completely, at this point, destroyed the experiment. Completely. Because the people are aware that there's going to be a change, so their subliminal mind will play games and will actually create the effect of there being something strange in the crop circle, and their brainwaves will show that there is something strange in the crop circle. Now, this has been shown many times. The most popular representation of the fact that you can't trust people in experiments like this would be, look at the work of Derren Brown. Derren Brown is an expert in hypnosis and mind manipulation, and what he shows is that when you do even things like seances, that if you suggest to people that there's going to be a spirit, that there will be a spirit, and a person will feel compulsion to push the glass around, and one person in the group, subliminally, they will pick up eye contact and body language, and one person will assign themselves in the group to become the channel. Now, all of this goes back, I believe, into saying why these so-called scientific experiments from Lucy Pringle are completely and utterly invalid. Because the moment you start telling somebody what you expect the outcome to be, or you hint to them what the outcome should be, then it's going to influence the outcome. That's number one. Secondly, then the second point, if you go into a crop circle and you take the person into the crop circle, they then know that their circumstances have changed from the outside environment to the inside environment. So it influences the results because the person knows they're in a crop circle. Now, if you could devise a way, this is the way to repair the damage of absolutely shoddy research, which, because I dare say that people like Lucy Pringle can't actually think on their feet enough to realise that the experiments they're doing are completely invalid, that me helping them by telling them how to actually correct the mistakes, this is what you should do, I don't think it's going to make any difference, because they're going to still carry on regardless, because they're not going to listen to me, because they're up their own buttocks. So, but this is how you would need to do it, and it would be very hard to do. What you have to do, if you wanted to test whether there's a real energy that's affecting people's brains in a crop circle, is you would have to actually put them in a box or an environment where they cannot tell, so you'd have to blindfold them, and you'd have to basically move them in and out of the crop circle so that they wouldn't realise that they were in or out of the crop circle. And that is the only way that you're going to be able to tell the difference from a scientific point of view with, is there anything strange going on in the brain? Now, the moment you take the blindfold off, or you take the earplugs out, then the person's going to know where they are. So I think the only way that these experiments are going to work, and so far everything that you've done, Lucy, is a complete waste of time. And here's the bin, stick it in the bin, put it in the bin, right, and just take it to the rubbish dump, because it is a waste of time. The only way you're going to rectify this is if you blindfold people so they cannot see, and you put headphones on them, ear-defending headphones with music playing through them as well, so that they're completely isolated and they don't know where they are. Yes? Now, I've seen television footage, which I'm going to put a link up here at the bottom of the screen, to a piece of footage which shows you quite clearly priming people for what is going to happen experimentally inside the crop circle before you take them in the crop circle. Yeah? Then you put the little thing on their head, and then you walk them into the crop circle and you go, there we are, now what sort of registration readings are we getting now? Yes, well, this is very interesting because we are getting some strange readings now, yes, and what we'll do is we'll take them out of the circle and we'll move them to the outside, and now they're outside, and you can see that there is a very marked difference in the laptop from being in the circle to being outside the circle. What a load of old bollocks. Yeah? So the video shows quite clearly that that is the method that you use in order to do your research, and now you know why it's so stupid. Go and watch some Derren Brown episodes. That's my advice. Go and watch some Derren Brown episodes, and then you will understand the principles behind subliminal suggestion. Yes? And also look up the word placebo, yeah, and then look up the word double blind, which are two words, yeah. Look up the words double blind, yeah, and understand that you really need to be a little bit more intelligent if you're going to call yourself scientific. So, thank you very much for watching. Well, apart from Lucy, who probably is now throwing a shit fit, but there we go.